exact use case with a customer right now. This very exact one. We're taking an interesting approach to dealing with this. So one of the things that we at Ori can do is around relationship-based access control. And where we focused on this was actually not on the agent side, was actually on the RAG side of things, where what ends up happening a lot of times is that you have different categories and classifications of documents that are being ragged into the system. So in this case, it's actually a tax preparer, right? And they're looking at, hey, we have a bunch of tax documents. Now, each of those tax documents, they have relationships to them. They have the person who it's about, they have the auditor who can access it, they have the preparer who can do X, Y, and Z, right? Which is known to the business. And so what you can do is you can actually have, during your RAG process, have the LLM also be doing semantic analysis around that document. What is the content? Do simple things like rank keyword searches for like, hey, what this document is, and help build a relationship graph, right? That can then build permissions into it that you're embedding into that chunking process of RAG. So you can actually take your document IDs, your chunk IDs, classification, all that fun sort of stuff, and build a relationship graph off of that. And then what you do is you turn around to your interface that you're giving to your employees internally, and you tell that root level LLM that's going to be serving this information when like a tax preparer says, hey, tell me what Jeff Hickman's AGI was in the year 2023. What you tell that LLM is you say, hey, before you do anything else, before you display information back to the user, like you can look it up, but before you display it, go talk to the permission system and give it this information. Say, hey, this is the chunk I need because I read it, right? I know that's where this data sits. This is the person who's authenticated through OAuth. So we have their subject, right? We know their relationship or the principal who's there. We know maybe the group that they belong to because that's in an external claim in the OAuth token, whatever it is. Look that all up. And if they have access, display it to them. If they don't, tell them they don't have access. Right? So that's like a real world enterprise system. And security doesn't have to necessarily own that. A lot of that actually falls on data, whoever handles data classification today. Right? Like it's a mixing of roles, right? If whoever's doing risk, data classification, all that fun sort of stuff in the organization is ultimately going to be responsible for that because they're responsible for who has access to it today. And I don't see that changing. They're still going to have to be responsible for it from a legal standpoint when they put it into an AI system. So that's just one example of where I've seen this being done actively. It's actually, this is an ongoing project with the customer.